Can I tell you the conspiracy that's going on in my head?
Okay.
I'm obsessed with gun control right now. Okay. And today I was in the shower and I was thinking. And by the way, this is just a thought. So if you get upset by this thought, realize it's just a thought that I'm trying to see if it works. Meaning, like it's an idea.
Okay.
But all these kid shooters, the real base of the problem is that there are these lost people in this world that think that the solution is killing tons of people.
Yeah.
And part of me goes, I wonder if there's a solution to connecting as a society. Like I wonder if we've disconnected so much as a society that this kid, this Parkland shooter, I guess, had no family. All he had was guns. You know? And so like I wonder if there's a way to connect with him in society to like try to reach out to these kids that are lost. If there's like a program where you can go, hey man, anyone in here have a knife on them right now? And they're like 3 kids. They're like, all right, you're who we need to talk to. Yeah. Like, you guys ever kill a cat? They're like, oh, it's like you're reading my diary. And you're like, so I was thinking about that all day today. I was like going like, wonder if part of what this society likes is disconnecting these people and having these issues that they can point their finger at, as opposed to trying to find the solution. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's a different. I mean, like I could get into it, dude. The of the like 8 or 9 major impact events, there's deep state connections to them, like big time.
Yeah.
There's actually the FBI is getting sued right now in 2 different cases of where they've encouraged this stuff going on. Fort Hood, they're being sued because they encouraged this guy to go nuts, supplied him with weapons.
I remember that.
And then sat back. And then do you remember when the guy was driving to West Hollywood to do the shooting, to shoot up the gay pride parade? Well, he got arrested and they were interviewing. He said, I was told by the FBI to defend Islam and all that shit. These are fact. And then I could break every single one down to this, like where this connection is. There's, I mean, like there is an argument that the biggest terrorist organization is our intelligence stuff. I mean, it's just, if you took away 9/11, you went through all these things. Imagine what kind of world we live in where those events never happened. And like, are we fighting over guns? Are we this? Here's the thing and this is something for you to look in the future. When an incident happens, there's 3 things to look for. One, is the media there instantly? Like the drop of the hat, they got full coverage. 2, was there a drill going on before there? And then 3, what are eyewitnesses saying? The truth comes out in the initial hour of what's going on, like interviews. And I always pull all the videos. And if you ever have them, I actually brought my computer afterwards. I'll show you all these crazy videos that break it down. That kid Hogg that everybody's talking about right now.
Dude, I was reading about that this morning.
He showed his hand in this PSA he ran while there was a shooter going on. He fucking slates somebody right before it starts, and he gives the time he's doing the interview at, and it's at 9:30 in the morning when the shooting didn't start till 2:30. And I have multiple witnesses saying that they were told that there was going to be a drill in which cops were going to be shooting blanks in the school to see how we would react. And
they had an earlier fire alarm that morning.
But there was actually a drill.
A drill. They did a drill that morning, right?
A cop shooting thing where yes. I can show you the videos and all that stuff.
I read about that kid because he seemed a little too slick. First of all, 2 things. He seemed a little too slick, a little too prepared, and part of me was like, wow, so that's where we are now, is that there's no respect for authority. There's no respect for your elders. There's no respect for your congressmen. There's no respect for elected officials.
It's all about pulling strings. You know, Vegas, dude. Why did they hit Vegas? Why did they hit
that place?
Concert?
That place blows my fucking mind, because that one, no drugs in his system,
but poison, high levels of poison.
For real?
Yeah. The autopsy came back. He had multiple poisons in his body. He didn't technically die till 14 hours later after the shooting starts.
He shot himself in the head, right?
Well, that's the story they tell you. That's what the story they tell you. See, that's everything that we deal with what we have is this mainstream media sets the table of the incident, and we have to work our way back. But what they don't tell you is like, okay, where was SWAT? Well, I'll tell you where SWAT was. There's a video of them in the Tropicana escorting out a Saudi prince who is now fucking dead. You know, I mean, like,
wait, the Saudi prince is dead?
Yeah, he was part of the Saudi purge in which they were going to. There was an event in Saudi Arabia in which they made an AI robot assistant, and everybody showed up. And when everybody showed up at this 5-star hotel, they arrested everybody. And 11 Saudi princes, 11 of the richest men in the world, were all thrown into jail.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And 2 of them died. One was in a helicopter crash. The other one was a gunfight. And the guy, I'll show you the video, walking through he has SWAT right in front of him walking. If you ever play the Laugh Factory, you can go right down the area, walking out. And he's kind of like walking like Sanford's son. And he's just walking out while these SWAT guys have guns out because they're all protecting him. There was multiple events going on there in that night.
Man, this is let's button this and talk about what we want to talk about because this will spin me out forever. The last thing I want to say before we start getting into where we're going is I got really frustrated last night watching the Oscars, and I'm very frustrated with I put something out there, and it wasn't like a jab at Jimmy Kimmel, but it was like, it's just a little ironic to hear him talk about Me Too when knowing that he started his career on The Man Show where women were called juggies. And you're like, that was the definition of misogyny.
Yeah. Misogyny.
And I was like, and I don't have a bone to pick with Jimmy Kimmel. I'm just like, hey guys, and then Kobe gets an award, and I'm like, okay, so we're not gonna. He legit, I think, admitted he kind of fucking raped her a little bit.
Yeah.
And the hypocrisy that goes on, it made me just disconnect. And then Georgia, my oldest, says, Get Out was gonna win the best movie. And I go, yeah. She goes, why would they? She goes, is it really that great? And I said, no, it's good. It's a good movie. It's definitely a good movie. She was like, well, was it better than Jumanji? And I was like, no, it wasn't. Jumanji was really fucking great. It really was.
It looked good.
Jumanji was so fucking good. Yeah. It was so good in so many levels.
Listen.
And then she goes, so wait, why don't they just give it to Jumanji? And I was like, yeah, why? I don't know. I go, it's all politics.
It is.
And so then today I'm in the thing and I'm reading about that Hogg kid because there was something that rubbed me wrong about him. And I'm reading about him, and I'm reading about the Parkland shooter. And then I said, I'm going to go see how easy it is to buy a gun. I want to see how easy it is to buy a gun. In L.A., probably the hardest place to buy a gun in the country. I'm going to go see how easy it is. And on my way here, I left at 2 o'clock. The podcast is at 3. I pull into a gun shop on Magnolia, and 15 minutes later.
What?
I have a gun. I have 2 waiting for me.
What'd you buy?
A Mossberg and a Glock.
Huh.
Dude, it was so
Have you
easy.
shot guns?
I've shot lots and lots of guns. But I just was like,
no background check, nothing. No. They just.
I mean, they got my license.
Crazy.
They got my license, and then I took a
Gerard
test.
Carmichael has the best bit. He goes and shoots a gun. He's like, this is not the answer, but man, this will solve all my problems.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, dude. I just want to say something about last night, and to see Tiffany Haddish there, to see where she's come from, like that to me is like the most amazing moment ever. Like one of the greatest success stories of all time.
I love her.
Outside of that, man, there is a conformist thing going on. Just know most of these people, not all of them, but most of them calling for this stuff. And I know we're going to get it at the end with Aaron on that. But, a lot of these people walk around with bodyguards. Wherever they go, there's huge amounts of securities, and they're telling you don't need to protect yourself. I'm just going to tell you this, man. The government that's telling you not to, that you don't need guns is also complicit in the worst humanitarian crisis in the history of time, which is what's going on in Yemen, the proxy war. We are either supplying the weapons of the bombs or we're doing it ourselves. And we've looked at people, they've lied to us about weapons of mass destruction, and we're in fucking about 5 or 6 wars right now, possibly going into another 3, which would be 8, and maybe up to 10, which are Hitler numbers. So if they'll do it over there, what makes you think they won't do it here? There is no connection.
Dude, I think in all fairness, and this is the thing that's been the hardest for me, that I think it was triggered me to go in and buy a gun today, which now sounds like the whitest thing I've ever done. But it's like, I've been trying so fucking hard to just listen as a white man. I understand. I do understand that listening is what everyone's asking. But like halfway through the Oscars, it didn't sound like they wanted me to listen anymore. They just sounded to me like they didn't want me to show up. Like they were like going like halfway through the Oscars, they were like finally inclusion. We need more. Like, and I was like, cool, man. I'm not a part of that team, but as a white guy, I'm seeing this like, do you not want me here? Do you not like I get it, like, but I don't feel like I'm included anymore. And so then today I was like, I'll buy a fucking gun. I'll fucking arm up. You know what I thought in the shower?
It's the worst business model ever.
You know what an AR-15 is really good for? Not letting someone take your AR-15.
Yeah. Hey, dude. There's nothing wrong with it, man. There's nothing fucking wrong with it. And when you could break down that these kids that do these shootings, there's a deep state connection, humongous fucking prescription medication problem.
Oh, fuck yes, dude. You're telling me, by the way, it is easier to get guns and prescription meds. It is, which is good.